little, what is that? It is a, don't know, Stonehaven, a tiny little briar pipe, very cheap, very good little smoker. And some good Virginia tobacco, and a time to stop for a minute. I thought I would stop for a minute. And make a short film, I thought, about coping with pain, which is one of the subjects that I talk about occasionally. It's very, very difficult. I can only talk from my own experience and what I've found helps with that. Good. Yeah, I've been very sort of physically active the last couple of days, and whenever I do that, my body has a way of telling me to stop or slow down or take some time out, or I just can feel fatigue setting in, and I know that I need to ease off. And that's very frustrating if you're a sort of physically active person, or have been a physically active person a lot of your life, or in your life, and then to have something that limits you or slows you down or stops you in your tracks. It's quite a difficult thing to adjust to, and you have to develop a kind of a patience and a sort of philosophy, I suppose, on a day-to-day basis on how to cope with that. And I'm feeling the need to sit down and slow down and stop. But I've had a good productive couple of days, sorting things out, clearing things. I've cleared the backyard, the front yard, sorted quite a few things out, so it's good. And I think you have to kind of look at what you've achieved and have a sense of balance. So I think in your mind you might have this idea that you're going to achieve, X amount of things, only to find out that the reality is way off that scale. So I call everything I do a project. Don't ask me why, but it's just one of my little things that I do that helps. So your project might be to sort out a toolbox, or clean the backyard, or tidy the kitchen, or put away your paperwork, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Each one of those is projects. But what I find is that, come the end of the day, I go through in my mind, I have made lists before as well, I go through in my mind and I sort of look at all those projects, and you actually find out that you've got a massive amount of things that you've achieved, and they may be very small, but you can tick them off that list. And then what you find is that you may have things that carry on to the next day, and so be it, and that's okay. But in your mind, it leaves you in a very positive state of mind, and it actually helps that. And it helps to, keep you focused when you're finding it difficult to focus and struggling with doing things. So if you have pain and you have constant pain, the effects of that on your thinking processes really stunts them, and it really messes with them. And especially if you're on pain medication, and I am taking pain medication. I went through a whole period where I managed to come off it completely, but now I'm using it again, and it's even more difficult, I think, to remain focused and to remain positive when you're coping with physical pain, the effects of that on your mind and your body, fatigue, having to deal with everyday stuff like going to work, responsibilities, and maybe a limitation on what you can achieve physically during the day. And with me, I always have that analogy. I may have said this before, it's like in the morning I'm a battery that's fully charged, and then during the day, everything's been switched on, everything's being used, but there's nothing to generate the energy back in, there's nothing to recharge the battery. So consequently, by the end of the day, I am very fatigued and very tired. Now, you can be angry about that, you can be frustrated about that, you can be annoyed about that, but all of that is kind of self-defeating. So I make it a point of every day, I look at every day as a gift. Every day I say to myself, what am I going to learn today? What am I going to achieve today? And then at the end of the day, I go through in my mind all the things that I've done, all the things that I've achieved, all the projects that I can tick off my list. And what that does is it enforces a very positive state of thinking in your mind, and helps then, I think, going into sleep and then waking up the next day. So I just thought I'd have a break. I feel like I've earned it. Smoke a pipe, have a think about a few things, and I just thought I'd share those thoughts with everybody, and I'll leave you all in peace.